Rotus 91 is here live on Smooth Breakfast. Hi, Rotus.
Good morning, Valentine. Lagos, good morning to you as well.
Good morning. And we are joined by a full house.
The horsemen are reunited for the first time this year.
Four horsemen. Yeah, the first time.
Actually, we flipped it. It's the three horsemen of the apocalypse, the economic apocalypse. But usually, usually, and most of the times we get together, it's bad news that's happening. We try to help. Bola Rewa is back. He's been away for a little while. Christian is also here. One day, gentlemen. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Lagos.
Good morning, Lagos. Morning, Lagos.
All right.
Please join the conversation by sending us messages on WhatsApp. 0809-444-0981 is the WhatsApp number. 0809-444-0981. Twitter is at Smith981FM. Hashtag Business Express 981.
All
And
right.
you know we're streaming live on YouTube.
Yes, indeed. Should we even talk about the markets? The markets returned back to this bearish nature yesterday, Lagos. What is it now? 0.15% in the red zone. 13.46 trillion naira is the market cap. What did the All-Share Index close? 27,657 points. Lots of questions. We spent so much time talking about possible devaluation. We didn't get to a number of other things. But Q&A. Ifoma on Twitter was asking me, Rotus, what companies can she invest in that are offering, mutual funds and allowing people out there to invest in mutual funds? And I said, of course, our usual guests, our ARMs, Afri Invest, our Stanbics, but also something that we've never revealed on the show is that Christian is also repping one particular firm that's also pretty decent at mutual funds, pretty good at helping people's investments. Christian, quickly sell your markets. Which company is that that you rep?
Okay, so it's a company that has about the best mutual funds in the market now.
Yes.
Don't worry, no, go on. Go on.
No.
So it's Codros Asset Management. We have balance funds, which we call the Codros Milestone Funds for 2023 and 2028. Then we also have the Money Market Fund,
Okay.
which right now kind of beats the returns of other mutual funds in the market. I say this authoritatively, Rotus. You can take me to court on this.
That one beats VFD mutual fund.
This is a key thing though, and I told this to Ifama and every other people out there. You must ask before you invest how the funds have performed
Over
the
time.
past year.
Yes.
Before you put your money there. So please, before you invest in anyone, just say, hey, look, how's your fund performed, and then you go from there based on performance. And we should mention, are you still selling your market?
Okay, yeah, well, yes, the Codros balance funds, the Codros money market, and then in a couple of weeks we'll be coming out with the dollar fund, and yes, for people who are looking to save money in dollars, and then of course the fixed income fund, great product.
Speaking of which,
Wonderful.
well, okay, well, you're done, have you?
Yeah, it has to be.
All right, so another important thing for our listeners there. Equity-focused mutual funds, we're talking about this downstairs. Those haven't performed very well, because Christian just mentioned fixed income funds. I think as far as performance is concerned, fixed income funds have performed better.
Definitely, you would typically expect that because again, the composition of assets that would be in the equity mutual funds will reflect largely, to a large extent, what you have in the equity market. The market has really performed woefully this year, so you would typically expect that. And I think the good thing is most of those small companies, medium-sized small companies, asset management companies, that people will typically not look at are really doing very well when you compare them to the large ones, because in terms of cost management, I think they are very efficient. I think I one of our own subsidiary also is PSC Assets that does fantastically well when it comes to managing assets. So I think I align with what
Christian said. Okay, good stuff. So again, please just keep those key questions in mind when you are considering investing. And by the way, also subscribe to newsletters from all these funds. They send market updates. They keep you up to date with what's going on in markets. All right, speaking of the markets, gentlemen, Nigeria spends 1.9 trillion naira on goods from China in half year 2019. No, it's huge because they've been making noise about imports, and now we need to reduce imports. And here the numbers are showing something different. Valentine, that's the issue now. Every time, okay, let me not shout, but one day this thing is up 88% compared to half year 2018. What are your thoughts?
Okay, I work in the shipping line.
Aha. So you're part of the problem.
No.
Did you hear the way his voice
just came? Exactly.
I work with the shipping line, so most often the time we see these things. Imports year on year have been growing, with exception to 2016. and over 54% of it comes from China. And what do we import? Machineries and a lot of resins. Although most of the resins are from North America.
Okay.
But the as the income level drops, what you'll see that most Nigerians or most Nigeria as a country will most likely lean towards China. That gives us things at a fairly good price. So this report is not far-fetched.
Which is, by the way, from the Bureau of Statistics.
Exactly.
Foreign trade report, yeah.
So when you see Nigeria spend 1.9 trillion on goods from China, and it's up 8%, it's bound to even increase
over time.
Well, I think this is reflective of the decision that the CBN took. I think was it last year or 2 years ago that they introduced the yuan into the reserve of the country, so making it very easy for you.
One naira swap.
So this speaks to the effect of currency convertibility. You instead of you moving from the naira to the dollar, then to the yuan, you move directly from the naira to the yuan and from the yuan to the naira. So that has really strengthened the bilateral trade between both countries. So you've seen the numbers for the first half of this year has shown is an 88% increase over the same period of 2018, and that's quite huge in terms of performance. It means that trade is from this side of Africa is really moving largely in that direction, and the numbers also shows that our trade level with India has also increased significantly. So I think it is not a bad outcome, but where I have the challenges in the area of exports. You have China accounting for the largest imports source for Nigeria, but in terms of exports, they don't even fall within the 10 largest countries where we export our commodities to. So in terms of trade balance between both countries, China is getting the best of us, while we are not really exploring in terms of relationship between both countries. So I think it still boils down to the position that Donald Trump has taken. We should, from both ends, enjoy bilateral. It's not a case where one party is enjoying while the other party is not really getting much. We do commodities. China does a lot of importation of commodities. Why are we not getting significant markets in China for our commodities?
I think what I've seen so far is that for countries like China, they rely mostly on ores, all these metal ores, and we do less of those things. We're mostly on cashew, sesame seed, and and cocoa. So, and China is not in that lane of path.
So it's based on what they need.
Okay.
Christian, anything you want to add?
Yeah, China is getting the best of global economy.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
And I mean, it just speaks to their manufacturing strength. So they typically demand a lot of raw materials as inputs for those things that they later export, right? So I think it's not far-fetched that China is advantaged in things like this. It only goes to say how much country's population can be utilized. The thing that we talk about when we do some analysis, what we call demographics, they have population and they're using it to their benefit. We have population, but we're largely a consuming nation. That's the fallout.
That's just where things are. Good stuff. All right.
We have messages.
Yeah, Ayodeji from Surulere. Okay, so Ayodeji, let me clear this up. So it says, but Rotus past performance is not a guarantee of future performance. What's the composition of Codro's mutual funds? Well, enough selling of the markets. What we were trying to point out was that before you put your money and give your money to a company and say, I want to invest in your mutual funds, just ask and say, how has your fund performed? It's almost like marriage, right?
Yes. How are your past relationships?
Yeah, exactly. Before we get into this relationship. That's what I'm saying.
Who
Any
left who?
further questions, you can, Christian, are you on Twitter or something?
Yes, I am. I'll share my Twitter.
Okay, so you
please.
can ask Christian more.
Benga Kambo says,
some more questions. Yeah.
it seems China is now largest trading partners. People import everything from there, but at least pizza is not among
That's
the
the
items.
dig at the former.
We should make many of the items ourselves.
Benga, I see what you did there.
Kylie says, how do you balance the cost of USD transfer with the return of the USD fund, the net off would be a loss.
Coyote.
And Prince says, Rotus, talk about positive devaluation yesterday. Can you juxtapose what is going on in Egypt? Protests everywhere in Egypt because of the so-called positive data is not trickling down to the people. Reports say everyone out of 3 people are poor.
Prince has been tackling me on this Egypt thing for the past like 1 year. So
Yep.
Egypt is still look. See, fine, the thing hasn't trickled down, but Egypt GDP is growing at 5%. Meanwhile, we're doing less than 2. What else now? Inflation was at 30-something% 3 years ago. Egypt's inflation is now lower than Nigeria. So Prince, I understand. People still, these things take time. They just had their Arab Spring. They haven't quite recovered.
True.
But some of the macro indices are doing better than we are. Just that the people, it's because Nigerians are not protesting. If not, we'll be on the same level.
They're
but
not as complacent
yeah,
as
they're
we
not. But I get you, Prince. I get your point. Things are not going very well. But Egypt is doing, I guess, the right things based on what IMF asked them to do before they took their $12 billion.
Henry says, Rotus, you are the substitute host, man.
Yes,
these
these are the main guys.
It's a Christian, let your company throw the hat in the ring. Sponsor the show for 1 hour.
Very good. See, Henry,
No. So we're already in talks, right?
Very
Rotus?
good.
We're in talks with
Very
Rotus
good.
already.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds like a
So we'll
politician
share.
there.
We'll do all that.
Neely says, increased imports, dollar terms or naira terms. I'm sure looking at real currencies, where this would be a decreased.
Just as our
sum,
GDP
just
actually
as our
decreased.
GDP
Yeah, I
actually
get
in the
that.
last 2
Yes,
years
he's
of the
talking
term.
about it in dollar terms.
Benga, thank you very much. We saw your message earlier. Thank you, Chidi, for your message. Inka says, Rotus, are you aware there's something going on quietly? So I made an interbank transfer since Sunday morning, and I'm yet to receive it in my other account. But guess what? That 52 naira charge has been deducted, though. Well, I'll have to wait 5 days for resolution. That's bad, very bad.
We need to structure a show around Yinka. He's the most everyday man I've ever come
You know,
across. Every day Yinka is talking about something that's going
and
down.
he says
How
the
they are
truth.
charging. Yeah, he does say the
When
truth.
was the last time you checked your statements,
That
bank
thing,
statements? If you go count that 52 naira,
Yeah.
count it.
It's
At
huge.
in every transaction, it'll shock you how much.
Banks
it'll
have
come
made
up
so much. Okay, quickly, guys. What else shall we hop into here? Shall we quickly hop into okay, yeah. Speaking of the central bank and charges, very quickly, the central bank finally clarified those deposits and withdrawal charges. In as far as the percentage is concerned. Very quickly, we're thinking that 2% was on the entire 500,000 that you're depositing or withdrawing. Can you help us out?
I think this is medicine after that, because again they've thrown the entire economy into a chaos. A situation whereby you release a circular without really being specific. This would trickle down to the man on the street, because again, most of those people are the people that do a lot of cash transactions. So you should have been very specific instead of being ambiguous in the circular that was released. So what they're saying now is that the charges, the 2% that comes on charges on deposit and withdrawals, is not on the entire over 500,000 that you withdraw. It is on the excess.
Okay.
After you excess on the 500,000 minimum that you are permitted to withdraw.
Okay.
Excuse me, I have a question. So if I pay 550,000 naira, they are telling me that the charges will be on the 50,000.
On the 50,000,
Yes,
not on
exactly.
the 500.
Initially, everybody was saying it was the entire 500k or 550k. That's what we thought.
That's why you saw somebody pay 499,900.
Exactly. So we're right. So it's on that extra. It's on that extra.
Okay.
Part.
Ibrahim said, did he just say it's not a bad thing to import from China? The import from China increased by 80%.
No, Ibrahim. The bad thing that Bola was focusing on was that we import so much from them. Yet, I mean, you're looking at imports jumping 88%. Yes, what are we exporting to them? That we haven't seen that. That increase as well.
See, the truth is, the trade will always happen. The principle of comparative advantage would definitely should naturally take its course. But the thing is, when you are importing and you are not exporting, that is having a trade balance with the same country where you are importing the most part of your goods, does not make sense.
Gotcha.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Real quick, all of you have Twitter handles. Bola, what's your Twitter handle?
Bola Sonny.
All right, and Christian,
I will share with you privately. Thank you.
Are you scared?
I'll share it so that people can ask you questions. One name, please. What's your Twitter handle?
1ABK_1.
All right, cool. And I'll tag all of them and tweet them out. Thank you all for your
Since they
messages.
refuse to give their Twitter handles, mine is Valentine OHU.
There you go. We'll
Yeah.
tag him as well. Everybody, thank you for your messages. Any ones I didn't get to, I promise we'll answer them tomorrow on show. Guys, the three horsemen, I don't know when I'll see all three of you again together in the studio, but thank you for joining us today. Very much appreciated.
All right.
Thank you.
It's breakfast time. Good morning.
business and not just
Business
Rudy, you
Express.
can-
I'm